Hi, this is a very quick introduction to Pedigree Publisher. After installation and when you first start Pedigree Publisher, it will start with a sample database. This is the dog sample database. It has 600 odd entries. The view we're looking at here is the grid view. This is generally where you would enter data. Each of these rows is a record, an animal record, and you can see all the fields we have here. And if I grab the scroll bar and scroll along, you can see there's quite a few fields there. Now with Pedigree Publisher you can modify fields, you can add fields, you can delete fields. This is the pedigree table. You can select different tables from the database drop-down list. So the main tables are your pedigree table, the contacts, that's for breeders or owners, shows for your show results, and then we have all of these other tables here. And we've got some what we call lookup tables that provide values for drop-downs such as lists of titles and colors. So the basics of Pedigree Publisher when it's constructing a pedigree is to start with a subject, and we'll very quickly show a pedigree. By clicking on the pedigree button we get a list of pedigree forms. And incidentally, in Pedigree Publisher, it's quite easy to modify these forms or to create your own forms. So let's have a look at a 4G pedigree. There's our subject that we selected, Armandine Celtic Beauty. So we can just click back on the database to see that, and you can see the sire is Arella Sanjay Sarsen and the dam. So that's what we can see here. The way Pedigree Publisher constructs pedigrees is to start with a subject, look at the name in the sire field, and then find another record with the same name. So I'll just click the Find Entry button, and that's where it is there. Now I can hit the back button to go back up here. The dam is Odin's Home Coquette, and again I could say Find Entry, and here it is down here. I'll just click the back button to get back to our subject. But that essentially explains how pedigrees are created. The names are case sensitive, so if your subject is all caps, that would not match. To show you what that looks like, we can have a look at this cell here. It's got a red wavy underline which indicates that there is no record with that name. Let's just scroll down here to sort of where it would be. We can see that it's not there. So this is a very useful indicator if you have incorrectly entered a name. But what we'll do is quickly demonstrate how you would add a record. So as you type, matching records appear here, but that we're typing a new record, so we'll just type in the name and hit the Add Record button or hit the F5 key. So here is the new record in alphabetical order. It has moved to the next field, which is sex. So we can just continue typing. I'll just hit the letter M, hit enter, type a date for the date of birth, hit enter. And I will then type the name of the sire. And you can see that the drop-down list here actually has all of the names in it, but it is scrolling to the nearest match. Now I've only typed ANN so far, but it's highlighted the rest of that name. So if I just hit enter, now I have selected a female for the sire, and Pedigree Publisher has warned me about this, so I'll just type no. So we'll try typing in the correct one. So Orbison's lad, and I'll just hit enter. And that is the sire entered, and I can now type the dam's name. And if I'm close to the name in the list, I can just use the up and down arrows on the keyboard just to scroll through that list. And there we go. So we have entered a new record just by typing the name, hitting the F5 key or clicking the add record button, and then just typing and hitting enter for each of these fields. And for fields that have drop downs like sire and dam, pre-title is another one. So if I type C, you can see all the titles that have been entered so far, so that's quite easy to enter those. You don't need to type all the letters in. And having entered our new record, we can then click on the Pedigree button and it'll show us the last Pedigree form that we used. There's quite a list of forms here. We'll have a look at a 7 generation. You can see the issue here is that the obviously there's no sire or dam for this entry here. But anyway, that's the basics of editing or adding a record. Now we'll very quickly demonstrate what to do for your own data. So you would then click on File, Create Database, select the breed, there's our drop-down list, the default breed, and click on this button here to so that's the name of the database, and it is in the user's public documents breedmate folder, and it'll have a .db extension. So click OK. Here is our new database, now completely empty. So we're in the grid view and we'll begin by adding a record. So as you type, the name appears, and click add record. So we'll say he's a male, entered the date of birth. Now the sire is doesn't exist yet, but we'll type his name. PedPub tells us that a record with that name does not exist. It asks us to create one, so we'll say yes, and we can see it's added the record for David there. Now we'll enter the dam, and I'll just quickly type a name. And so we've basically got our first pedigree. So we have Fred as the subject. It has a sire called David and a dam called Mary. So clicking on the subject, we just click on pedigree and we can see the family tree or the 4G pedigree, and there's David and Mary. So let's go back. Now we can use these back buttons, for example, or just click on database. So at this point we can start building up the pedigree. We've got the subject, we've got the sire, now we can add the grandsire. Now you'll also notice that when it added the record for Alan, because it's in the sire field, it automatically filled in the sex for us as well. Just type in a few more names here. Okay, so let's go back to Fred, our subject, and click on Pedigree, and you can see we now have 2 generations complete. Okay, now going back here, once we have entered a name, we don't need to re-enter the details for that. Now let's say, for example, that Bell is the dam of Nellie. I could just click here, and if I type capital B, because it is case sensitive, notice how it comes up in the drop down list, and all I've typed is the letter B, but it has completed it for me by adding the nearest matching record. So I've just typed B and I'll hit enter, and there we have the dam entered for that one. So you only have to enter an ancestor once, regardless of how many times it appears in a pedigree. And that completes our very quick introduction to Pedigree Publisher.